Welcome back everyone, my name is LastKnownMeal and today I'm going to talk about EA and Activision. Whoop-de-doo, just a topic I wanted to discuss. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I am so disgusted by the gaming industry of today. Not by everyone of course, but the two biggest corporations in the gaming industry of today, EA and Activision, are the reason why I'm losing faith in this industry. Why I'm losing faith in video games. Because before, when you go and buy the game, it was simple. You buy the game, you play the game. You weren't locked out of anything, you did not need to buy loot boxes to be better in the game. No, you buy the game, you play the game. Of course, even then you had good games and bad games, but it was simple. You buy the game, you get the content. You get the content you are paying for. But today, in 2017, in 2018, it's not like that anymore, because the gaming industry of today is in a lot of money. Every single year, a lot of money is generated by this industry, and of course, you will have people in suits, aka the businessmen, who are only interested in more money, claw their way into this industry. Of course, what's gonna happen? They're gonna start making decisions. They are going to start changing this industry. For example, EA and Activision, all of their games filled with microtransactions, just filled with loot boxes and stuff you get for money. Even certain perks that will give you advantage in the game. I'm not sure which company is the worst. Honestly, I'm not sure which company is the worst. But the other thing that made me mad, like, of course, yeah, you have loot boxes, you don't have to buy them if you don't want to, it's a simple answer, but right now, what they're doing is they're trying to change the matchmaking system. Before, it was simple, you had the matchmaking system for multiplayer. The matchmaking system was all about one thing: to make the game fair. You're going to pair up, you're going to find people in the same skill group, in the same level group, you're going to put them in one game, it's going to be about skill. Everything is going to be fair. But right now, what EA and Activision are doing, they're willing to change the matchmaking system. For example, if you just bought the game, you're a beginner player, you are level 1, they're going to pair you with an experienced high-level player, which also spends money on loot boxes. And of course, you're not going to stand a chance. He knows the map, he played the game longer than you, you're not going to stand a chance. And of course, you're going to see like, he's using these weapons, he's using something like this, like these perks. What if I go and buy the same things? That will give me an advantage. And the sole reason why they're doing this is to increase the sales. Is to make people look at those guys that are kicking their asses, so that the beginner player is gonna say, I'm gonna buy me some loot boxes. That's gonna give me an advantage. And this system is benefiting the people who are paying more money for the game, because if you paid money for loot boxes, they're going to pair you with a beginner player. And of course, you're going to go and kick his ass. It's very simple. So if you're paying a company more money than you should, it's going to make a game easier for you, because they're going to pair you with a player that doesn't have all of those cool skins and perks. Right now, that's the problem. Because they're not just like putting loot boxes and give you advantages, no. They're now going to change the game. The game is going to be rigged, and you won't stand a chance. Because the game is going to decide for you if you're going to lose or win. You're gonna say like, how? Well, it's going to take a lot of calculations in the equation. Basically, it's going to pair you with stronger players, and you won't stand a chance. You're going to lose. It's simple. So if I buy a game which is going to cost me $60, 60 euros, and I'm going to be kicked. My ass is gonna be kicked by those stronger players because I didn't buy any items. Well, I need to question if my decision was right. If I'm going to buy a game and I'm gonna be locked out of some content because I didn't buy this perk or I didn't unlock this loot box, I'm not going to continue buying that game. Because if I pay for something, I honestly want all of the content which I paid for. I don't want 60 or 90% of the content. I want 100% of content. And all of these new games that I wanted to play, turned out to be bombarded with negative press because of loot boxes, and of course, I'm not going to buy them because I'm not willing to spend more money to win. I'm not going to spend a full $60. I'm not going to buy a full $60 game just to spend more money to win. I am not going to do that. And a lot of games I wanted to play, like Battlefront 2, Destiny 2, were ruined by those same choices. How do I milk more money out of a gamer? How do I milk more money out of my customer? How do I do that? And I think 3 days ago I got a comment where I just mentioned Destiny, like, well, if you don't want to play those games with loot boxes, don't buy them, it's very simple. Well, yes, that's the thing, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to buy those games. Because I don't want to buy a game and then get my ass kicked because this guy pays more money. I'm not, because I want the game to be fair. So if you're willing to buy a game, as that user said, you're willing to buy the game which is rigged and you're willing to spend more money, well, to be honest, you're the reason why these people are willing to do this and continue doing this. Because you're gonna say, well, they have this, so they're not getting any money because gamers are not buying their games because of all the bullshit they put into their games. No, no, no. Call of Duty World War II, rank 1 with sales. Star Wars Battlefront 2, rank 2 with sales. I think that the Destiny 2 was on 9th place, but it was in top 10. And all of the first top 10 games, Activision, EA, Activision. You also have Ubisoft. Like, honestly, like, Ubisoft is also a very shady company. They make a lot of decisions which I don't agree with, but I'm not sure if they have the same problems as EA and Activision. I think they're going on the right track with their new games. I could be wrong with it, but still, they also had a lot of decisions game-wise that just, you know, gave them a lot of bad press. But the two companies I want to discuss are EA and Activision. So their games are still ranking in the first top 10. So of course, if people are buying their games, they're not going to change the formula. They're just going to improve their formula for taking more money. Because the core audience, a gamer, is not a gamer anymore in their eyes. It's just a person that they want to milk more money off. They're like, oh, you like this video game, you're going to do anything possible to win. Well, if you buy this, it's gonna get you that win. That's the tactic they're using. They're using gamers to achieve more money because they know we want to win, we are competitive. They're going to rig the game and they're going to make us buy more loot boxes. And that's the shadiest stuff I've heard in a long time. But they're not getting any problems with it because their games are still ranking as in the first top 10. So they have a formula, nothing is going to change. People are wondering, when is Call of Duty going to change? When is it going to improve? Well, never. For as long as people buy that game so much, it's not going to change. It will never change until their sales go down. That's when the game is going to change. Only and only if we speak out. Only if we speak out. Of course, you're going to have fanboys saying like, "No, that's not true." Well, those companies are milking your money, and if you're willing to give them more money, fine. But you're the reason why they're not going to change. And I'm willing to speak out. I'm willing to receive all the negativity from fanboys when I talk about their games, when I say that those loot boxes are ruining their game that they love so much. That's the problem they don't realize. Okay, I also loved Call of Duty. I played Call of Duty so much when I was a kid. Right now, I'm not going to buy, because it's not about the game anymore. It's about skins, it's about loot boxes. Like every single game, I play this, blah blah blah, I'm going to go and buy a loot box. I'm going to look at other people opening loot box. I love the idea of Destiny, I really do. But that game is all about give us more money, give us more money. And that's about it. I love Star Wars Battlefront. I love it. Like, I play the old one so much. But right now, Battlefront 2, the new one, is just filled with those loot boxes. And honestly, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game, but it's just ruined by those loot boxes and microtransactions. And if the matchmaking system they're trying to patent goes through, then the gaming industry as we know it, when it comes to multiplayer, because these guys set the rules, they're the big companies, it's going to change. And you're not going to have fair play that you got before. You're not going to get that anymore. The game is going to be rigged. So yeah, I won't buy those games. I won't. Because that's the only reason they're going to realize, hey, people are finally had enough. So maybe we should stop. But I really don't see when's that going to happen. Because I said, like, I hope that 2018 is going to be a good year of gaming. I was so wrong. It's just going to get worse. Luckily, there's some studios, both AAA and indie, that are willing to give us a game with content that we paid for. And whenever they want to upgrade something, they're not going to give us a half-assed DLC, they're going to give us an expansion. Other thing I want to talk about is the buying system on EA Origin, for example. The buying system that they developed a long time ago, that people kinda just said, like, that's the thing we have to live with now, and it's buying premiums. I know, I get it, you get all the DLCs for a game cheaper, but if you have a premium, you're going to get the DLC, I believe, 2 weeks before everyone else. 2 weeks before regular players get the DLC. So, of course, it's going to give you an advantage. You pay us more money, you're going to get this DLC earlier than everybody else. And of course, it's going to give you an edge once the rest of the players, or how would I say, rest of the villagers join the game. You're going to have an advantage. Of course, during one match, you're not going to be paired with 80% of those premium players. It's going to be 1 or 2 who play the DLC before everyone else, but still, it gives them an advantage, and I think it's just dividing the gaming audience. It's just dividing gamers into 2 groups, those that pay money, those that don't pay extra money. But people accepted the idea of a premium, but the problem is, as I said, why I think they're going to ruin the gaming industry, because if people continue to support their games, if their video games are sold so well because of a very smart, very intelligent marketing, those guys like spend a lot of money to market their games, that's the reason why they're being sold so well. It's this aggressive marketing, giving YouTuber money to promote those games, giving different websites money to rank their games with high scores. You're going to get 9 out of 10 for a game which doesn't deserve even 5 or 6 out of 10 because they got money for that article, they got money for it. That's a very intelligent marketing, and as long as people buy those games, as long as people don't see bullshit in their marketing, they will continue to do what they want, and other publishers, other developers are going to follow the same way. And the gaming industry as we know it is going to go downhill. Luckily, as I said, there are still developers, still publishers who value a customer, who value that core gamer that buys their game, that plays their game. And hopefully we will see more companies in the future like that who are willing to respect our money and not be greedy. Hopefully that is going to happen, but so far the only way to actually make them change is to impact their sales. So guys, that is all I have for today. Don't forget to tell me down below in the comments section below, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think about EA and Activision? Like, what's gonna happen in the future? So hopefully they're not going to take my video down, because there could be a case where those big companies could take this video down. Hopefully the freedom of speech is not going to be in question here. Hopefully. So that is all I have for today. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button, comment down below and tell me what you think about this. Also, don't forget to follow me up on Twitter at LastKnownMeal for more news, updates and all that amazing stuff. This is LastKnownMeal signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.